Good morning, everybody. Grace Simon here with the New Doors Mentorship and Coaching. We do real estate, mentoring, staffing, encouraging entrepreneurs to sell, thrive, and live a fulfilled life, to encourage everyone to thrive and live a fulfilled life. And I'm talking a lot about building your courage. This is such an important aspect for, stepping out, building a business, stepping out, being a leader, stepping out, being a communicator, influencer, and even being a model, for your children takes courage. And so I just think, talking more about the fundamentals on how you build courage is really important. Because, if you ask me if I'm confident all the time, I have to say, I have to build my courage every single day. It's something I have to work on and build on every single day is my courage. Do I ever feel adequate? All the time, every single day. Do I feel inadequate? Every single day, friends. And so when I'm talking about building courage, I'm talking to myself as well in how to build courage and, paying attention and growing intentionally every single day on this idea of courage, finding your courage and stepping out. And so that's why I've been talking about it a lot this past week, because I know that many people lack confidence, especially when you're doing something new in your life. You're stepping out and you're unsure about the things that you're doing. It takes a lot of courage. So I have some points that I want to make about courage. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. We're talking about courage. And the title of this is One Person with Courage is a Majority. One person with courage is a majority. Most people don't step out. Most people decide to play average than, they'd rather play average than step out, and be set apart or have people, put themselves in a position of ridicule and, doubt. And so people play average instead of standing out. It's a real shame, because that means that the majority of people, leave this earth not really fulfilling what it is that they were called to do, because they lacked the courage, or they didn't know how to build courage, and they just didn't step out. So one person with courage is a majority. Point number one, to build your courage, to build your confidence, is to seek the truth. Seek the truth. You will never find yourself unless you seek the truth. What does that mean, Grace? What does that mean to seek your truth? Well, I believe that every person has something within them that they have a desire to feel fulfilled, that they know that they were made for more than what they are at this moment in time. And so it takes courage to seek the truth of what that is. Mark Twain says there are two great days in a person's life. One, when they're born, and two, when they discover why. And so point number one of being, seek the truth of why you were made. Why are you here? What does it matter? Right? Seek the truth about your life. Seek the truth about who God, why. That's really number one of all things. I love listening to the most influential motivational speakers of today's stage. And they will all say the same thing, that it's so important to seek the truth, to seek God, to find God for yourself, the ultimate source, the grand overall designer. When you seek the truth of who he is and connect with him, then you have the source of all things. You have the source of understanding. You have the source of purpose and wisdom and discernment. And so seek the truth for yourself, friends. Number two is change. It takes courage to change. Courage is the power to let go of the familiar. We play average because we're not willing to look silly, not willing to look dumb, or like, oh, what does she do? Who does he think he is trying that out or stepping out? Oh, he's such a showman. I remember when I lost my courage, when an adult, when I was a child, and somebody made the comment of, you just like to be the center of attention, don't you? And immediately I went, no, I don't. And I took it so seriously that anytime that I stepped out, to perform or do that, I had that inadequacy, that feeling of I'm just, looking for attention. I like to be the center of attention. Well, people, be careful what you say to little children, especially when they don't feel like they have to be the center of attention. And then you go on, and you forget lines, you forget routines, you don't want to memorize things because, they have this fear of somebody ridiculing you or saying things that, make you feel inadequate. And then you don't step out. So change is the power to let go of the familiar. My daughter even said it yesterday, Brooklyn, my little 11-year-old. She says, if you don't step out and do something different, you'll never grow. Who cares about what anybody's going to say to you about why you're doing what you're doing? What does it even matter? Step out and let go of the familiar. Number 3, express convictions. Convictions help you to stand alone. The test comes when we are the minority. Oh my gosh. Wow. Convictions help us to stand alone. The test comes when we're the minority. Okay, well, I had to step out on a few things. I told you, where life really changed for me is when I made 3 major decisions about 6 years ago, right? I left the traditional brokerage model of real estate and jumped into something that was very new to Canada and people were unsure of. And, I felt it was the right thing to do. And so I stepped out. At the time, I was a minority because it was new to Canada. Not very many people, and still not very many people, will stand up from what's unfamiliar because they're not sure. It was the greatest thing, right? I stepped out and ran for council for my community. Many people won't do that. I felt like it was something that I wanted to do, that I needed to do. It was the right time for me, and so I did. And it's been the greatest experience of my life. Going into the second term, it's been wonderful to serve your community, to understand your town, your city, all the more, to be able to be a voice, to be able to contribute, has been outstanding. Did I feel inadequate? I still feel inadequate every single day. It's a process. You don't know until you work at something, building that confidence, building that courage, being willing to learn from other people, to take advice and to take direction. You're not going to feel adequate. You're not going to feel confident until you step out, because you know what it is that you need to do. Listen to that conviction and move out. And I stood out, oh my goodness, a few years ago. I won't get into it because it's a political thing, but it was a political thing. And I just had such a conviction to speak out about something. I just felt there was just such injustice. And for me, I'm a freedom fighter. So I do what I do because I want to see people live fully alive in what they're supposed to do. I fight for survivors, for traffic survivors, because I don't feel like any woman should ever, any girl, any woman, any person should ever feel like they're manipulated, held down, and controlled by another. I'm a freedom fighter. And so when a conviction rages within me, I have to mull it over, right? And this one thing, it was huge. And I stepped out and I got a lot of ridicule about it. Emails and nasty things that people had to say about what it is that I spoke about on my own personal page. And it was my own conviction. I stood out. I could have been a minority. My friends didn't even necessarily agree with me what I was saying, but I stood to my conviction. And today, what I had to say was proven correct, was proven right. So step out and be willing to be that minority. Don't worry about where other people are, because the majority of people are playing it safe. They're playing it average. So don't worry about everybody else. Just step out and do what it is that you feel like you need to do. Listen to that conviction, because it's powerful. Overcome obstacles. Whatever you do, someone will think you're wrong. Overcome obstacles. Whatever you do, someone will think that you're wrong. So what? Just step out. Maybe you are wrong. Maybe you will do it wrong. Quite possible, right? You don't know until you step out and try it. Don't hold on to the plan. If the plan doesn't work, then change the plan. Who cares? But at least you tried it. Stay to the conviction. Know what it is that you're working towards and work towards it every single day. You're going to get there. This is why I do what I do in the morning momentum. I am not looking to have whatever stage. I'm doing this because I want to inspire. I want to encourage. I want to be a voice. I'm not good at it yet, am I? Not to where I would really love to be. So I do this every single day to build my courage, build my confidence, to learn, to grow, to listen to other people, and to understand what it is that people need to hear. And so every day I'm thinking, what is it that I can say, what I can do, what I can give that will help somebody else, that will help me grow as a speaker, as a communicator, as an influencer? What can I do every single day to improve? So I'm on here every day, every morning, improving. And as an example, whatever it is that you want to do, just do it every day, every little bit. And you have to. If you do something enough over and over and over again with the intention of growth, with the intention, right? Every day setting your intention of why you're doing what you're doing, who you're doing it for, and why does it matter. By exercising that every single day, you're going to get better. It's guaranteed. Learn and grow. You haven't learned unless you step out. Take a risk and do something new. Take a risk. There's this lesson that I teach, and it's called the risk of fear. Oh, it's so good because it's quite common, and I'm going to suggest that the majority of us have been there, where we have a fear of risk. We like certainty, right? We don't do the things that we want to do because of a fear or the risk of, what if I lose? What if I lose everything? And I love having this conversation with my clients when I'm doing one-on-one or when I'm doing a group message. Is like, what if you do get it wrong? What if you do lose everything? Guys, if you do lose everything, if all your money was taken, you didn't have a roof over your head, and many people do. Someone says, I asked myself this, when was the last time I tried something new for the first time? Exactly. When was the last time? There's this risk of fear. There's a saying that says, do something that scares you every single day. Exactly. Step by step. Just take that step, and what if you fail? Right? You probably will. Who cares? Just do it. Take the risk. There's a fear of risk, and I'll do that lesson. I might do it live one day because it's such a good lesson, because many of us do. And I was saying, if you lost everything, you lost, the roof over your head, you lost all your money, you lost everything, and you ended up on the corner of your street, what would you do? And then they start thinking, they stop there and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, think about it. If you see yourself sitting on the corner, so friends here, as we're talking this morning, see yourself on the corner, you've lost everything. And many people have, living in, cars and living under, sleeping on a bridge. Many people have lost everything, but I want to talk to you this morning and ask yourself that question. If I lost everything, living up to this point, experiencing what I have, right? Having the experience of the wins and losses up to this very point, what's brought you up to this very point, you lost everything and you're sitting on the curb with nothing. What would you do? I'm gonna bet on you. I'm gonna bet on you. And I'm not a betting woman. How about I bet on you? You'd figure it out if you thought about it really seriously for a moment. You thought about it. You think about all the things that you had to overcome, the things that you tried, and from the failures to the successes. The failures you grow in, right? You learn. So I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna say that you would figure it out. You'd come up with an idea. Well, I could go door to door and ask if I could clean people's homes. I could start a cleaning business. What could I sell? What could I do? How could I serve? You start coming up with some different ideas of what the possibilities are. If you had nothing and you started from nothing, I guarantee you'd figure it out. Take the high road. There's no traffic jam on the second mile. I love this. Take the high road. There's no traffic jam on the second mile, because remember, people live with a fear of risk. They don't. Majority of people do not take risk. Majority of people will not try something new. So take the high road and do it. Step out. You know, it takes somebody that to be a minority, somebody that's willing, you know, to take a lead. And when you take the high road, it's not very busy up there because there's not many people doing it. And the last point is lead others. Leadership is the expression of courage that compels others to do the same. This is powerful. This is another reason, this is why I do what I do every morning. And morning momentum is to help encourage you that, you know, if I feel inadequate, you know, if I feel inadequate every day and I have to build my courage every day, then I believe that others. And so by doing this every single morning, whether I'm good, bad, or indifferent, I'm just setting an example of doing something every single day that you're not so great at, that you're just willing to keep at, willing to grow at, willing to be intentional, knowing that it's going to encourage somebody else to step out and do something. And I hope that it does. That's really what I want for this. Not that I think that I'm better than anybody else or have anything different to share. That I have a dream, I have a desire, I have a hope inside of me. And knowing as I step out and model that I'm bringing encouragement to somebody else in order to do that. You know, my mom, she's always loved painting. She's just very creative and artistic, and she's just taken it up again, and she's painting like crazy, but she keeps saying, oh, I'm not very good at it. I'm not very good at it. My dad gets so mad at her. He says, you're great at it. Stop putting yourself down. And she's finally now saying, the more I do it every single day, the better I get. I'm like, yes, Mom, you got it. You're doing something for you. You're doing something because it brings you joy. You're doing something, you know, who cares about what anybody else thinks? Who cares about, you know, whether somebody's going to buy your product or listen to your podcast or like your does it bring you joy? Do you enjoy doing what you're doing? Does it get you excited? Do you jump out of bed thinking about it? Do you dream about it? Like, is it on your mind all the time? Friends, your business that you're building, you know, the team that you're leading, the career that you're going after, does it get you excited? In that place of excitement, the creativity comes, the boldness comes, but it's not executed unless you try. And you keep at it every single day. And as you do it every single day, more and more, you're going to build that courage. And you're going to set yourself apart from the world. And you definitely want to set yourself apart from the world, because the world plays average. And in history books, the history books tells you something, doesn't it? Any history that you want to listen to, it took courage of a man or a woman that were willing to stand out from the crowd and be that minority. We need courageous people. Look at the leadership in the world. Look at the mess that things are taking place. Is that the best that we can do? We need more people, you know, building intentionally of what it is that they feel like they were called to do, and take intentional steps of growth and development. The greatest investment that you can do for yourself in 2024 is to invest in yourself, because yourself is going to give you the greatest return. Don't bet on other people. Don't waste your money, throw it away. Start with you. Start with what it is that you want to grow, how you want to grow, what do you want in your life. We're in an economic crisis. Don't hold back from investing in yourself. Who cares what the circumstances are on the economy and the worldview and the activation that's taking place? You are important and you are the greatest return. If you would just invest in yourself, out of those 3 things that I decided to do that changed my life incredibly forward, it was all in the investment of stepping out and taking courage. And that personal development of becoming a certified coach with John Maxwell. I'm still in the growth of it. I'm still learning it, but it was the greatest decision that I could make, developing myself, learning how to grow intentionally every single day so that I could truly help and grow others. What a great lesson. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Sorry it was longer than normal. Try to keep it to 5 to 10 minutes on these, but I just, I'm going with my convictions. I'm running with them in the hopes that I can help others. So build courage, be willing to stand out as a minority, every single day taking the steps to be intentional to grow, and you're going to do extraordinary things. I believe in you, I believe in your purpose, and I believe in possibilities. Have an amazing, incredible day, everybody. Be well.